Hi everyone and welcome to my Battle Spot double series. So we haven't had one of these episodes in about 3 weeks now. I was away on holiday for 2 weeks. We started it before I went away, so we haven't had anything. Had really good feedback from you guys and it was stuff that you wanted to see, so I'm really happy to kind of be continuing this. Again guys, as always, please, if there's any comments you've got, any teams that you want to see, Pokemon featured, anything like that, do just let me know in the comment section below. Any questions about the battles and things like that, do just shoot me a comment, and I will get back to you and I will provide you with content and Pokemon that you guys want to see. So I did say on yesterday's School of Hard Knocks episode that we were going to feature that Charizard Y team with the Tyranitar, the Excadrill, but I thought we'd change things up. We haven't had an episode in a while, and we will be starting soon to play with teams that I'm going to build in this format, especially over the summer when the VGC season kind of takes a break after Worlds and we have a little intermittent spell where we're not playing so much VGC and the season kind of dulls down for a little bit. So we'll be really getting our teeth sunk into this, and hopefully this might take over until the VGC season starts up again in September time. But today I thought rather than play that Charizard Y team, we'd play something a bit more familiar. We have a few more familiar faces in there. We've got the Tapu Koko, we've got a Tapu Fini, and Mega Kangaskhan, and more importantly. So this is pretty much what is kind of dubbed to be the chalk team of VGC 2018. If you know the rules change and we have Megas and Legendaries included within that format. I don't know what we've got next year. It's hard to say what the format will be, whether we're going to get a new game coming out, so we'll have access to those legendaries. We don't know. We'll have to just wait and see what happens. But either way, this format is a lot of fun, and it's reminiscent of VGC 2015, where we saw that chalk-style team with the Mega Kangaskhan, the Landorus, the Cresselia, and the Heatran. On that team, we also had a Moongus, and then the last slot kind of interchangeable. But we've got the inclusion of the Tapus with this kind of elemental core. So we'll see how we get on today. This is from a Japanese player who goes under the username Ken. I will link the QR code team in the description below if you guys want to go onto the Battle Spot ladder and try it out yourselves. So hopefully we have a couple of fun games today with this team. Well, as I said earlier, on the School of Hard Knocks yesterday, that I'm trying to set up a best of 3 match against Eloy, who is a very well-known German player. So if I can arrange that for Thursday this week, we'll have that best of 3 set, which should be a lot of fun. If not though, we'll just continue on. I might play this team, but if you guys have any suggestions for teams that you want to see or Pokemon that you want to see in this format and played, let me know and we can try and sort that out for Thursday's episode. But we have our first opponent of the day, and they are playing a team of Politoed, Bishop, Kingdra, Manectric, Sceptile and Swampert. So really interesting team here. We've got 3 potential Pokemon that could be Megas. We've got the Manectric, we've got the Sceptile, and we've got that Swampert. The Swampert has just been recently distributed over the Goblin, so it'll be interesting to see what my opponent brings here. Obviously the Raincore there is very threatening. The Kingdra does get the Swift mobility. Politoed has access to things like Helping Hand, Icy Wind, and things like that to really disrupt the team. So if we brought the Tapu Fini here, we need to be careful of that Sceptile. But Tapu Fini, other than that, looks very good. So I might bring, I think I'm going to lead off Kangaskhan, Tapu Fini. We are going to need, I don't think Heatran's great in this match. Got to be careful with Landorus as well, because if we bring the Landorus, we're always at risk of activating that Defiant ability on the Bishop. I think I might bring Tapu Koko on the back, and is Cresselia going to be any use here? Yeah, let's bring Cress. See how we get on. With the Bishop, hopefully, with the Tapu Koko and the Tapu Fini, we have 2 fairies in the team that we can kind of take advantage of, targeting down that weakness on that side. We've also got the Kangaskhan as well, so we should be alright. And before I forget guys, I need to apologise. The sound quality in yesterday's School of Hard Knocks episode was terrible. So when I was setting up my recording, I kind of had, I clicked on something on the audio effect, so it kind of doubled up the audio. I tried to fix it the best I could, but it didn't turn out so well. So if you were wondering about the audio quality of yesterday's episode, that is why. Anyway, we'll get into this match. We see my opponent leading off with that Politoed and the Kingdra, so bringing the rain to the field. And what are we expecting? Kingdra's obviously Swift Summon ability will activate, so it will be the fastest thing on the field. But we do have the Kangaskhan, we do have the ability to Mega Evolve, we've got Fake Out as well, so we can take advantage of that. So I think what I'm going to do is go for a Fake Out. I'm not going to Fake Out. Normally, I wouldn't Fake Out into the Kingdra because it's an obvious Fake Out into that, so we might see a Protect. I think I'm going to just Fake Out into the Politoed, and I'm going to go for a Moonblast into that Kingdra slot. So we'll Mega Evolve a Kangaskhan, Fake Out the Politoed, and Moonblast into the Kingdra, which should take it down because we are Choice Specs Kingdra, Tapu Fini. No Protect coming out, so we do get a Fake Out into the Politoed. That Parental Bond ability, hitting twice, and here is a Z move, so this will probably be into the Kangaskhan, so we're going to trade 1 for 1 I think here. Hydro Vortex, and I don't think Kangaskhan is going to be able to take this. It's a bit unfortunate there, we should have really faked out straight into the Kingdra, but you know, it's so obvious fake out into that slot. You would expect my opponent maybe to protect that slot, so to utilise the Kingdra the next turn. Never mind. We do get the Moonblast into it, which will take it down. We are locked into Moonblast now with our Tapu Fini, and the Politoed flinched. But now I'm quite safe to bring in Tapu Koko, because we will outspeed and threaten that Politoed. And the Manectric comes in. Not ideal at all. Okay, so Manectric's going to come in. We'll probably see this Manectric Mega Evolve. So I think what I'll do is just go for a Dazzling. Should I go a Dazzling Gleam? I should probably T-Bolt into the Politoed, really. And I'm going to switch Tapu Fini out for my Cresselia. They'll be able to take those electric type attacks a lot better than the Tapu Fini, and potentially we can set up a Trick Room for later in the game. Oh, of course, Manectric has Lightning Rod. Fool. Okay, not going great, and we see a Thunder come out. It's going to do huge damage to Cresselia. Does proc the berry. Things go from bad to worse, and we see a Scald probably into the Tapu Koko, but it just doubling up into that Cresselia slot and picking up the burn. Not ideal. Okay. I don't think we're going to win this match, and it's all because of that. I should have really realised, obviously, Manectric doesn't have to Mega Evolve. So I'm just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam this turn, and I'm going to try and get a Trick Room off. I don't think we'll be able to, but you never know. My opponent might double into the Tapu Koko expecting a Sash on it. And here's no Mega Evolution this turn. Do get the Dazzling Gleam. And the Thunder is going to be into that Cresselia slot. And we just see a Scald. Yeah, this is not looking great. So we're going to have to bring in the Tapu Fini again now. Good lesson for you at home, kids. Do not use an electric type attack when a Manectric is on the field. There's not a lot we can do. We can just go for the Dazzling Gleam, hope we get a really high roll, pick up the KO on the Manectric, and I'm just going to lock in with Muddy Water here for Tapu Fini. So we get the Dazzling Gleam off. Oh, it's so close, so close. Not enough though. Thunder will pick up the KO onto the Tapu Fini, and the Politoed will be able to kill the Tapu Koko. So, terrible start. Very quick game. Not ideal. Nothing we could do. Silly mistake there. If we went for the Dazzling Gleam that turn, actually realised about the ability there, then it would have put us in a lot better position, you know, to do the same sort of thing, but we would have been able to get rid of the Manectric before we get the Tapu Fini back in, so we can start utilising that rain with the Fini. But never mind. Good game to my opponent. Silly mistake on my behalf. And we'll just try and not do that in this next game. It's just, yeah, you just need to wake up a little bit. Not the best start. But we'll see, we can do better than that. We'll try and get a couple of more games in. And I haven't played with this team at all before now, so there is a little bit of adjusting on my end to do, but it's still no excuse, you know. You need to remember abilities on Pokemon and things like that, so if anything, do remember that. We've got our next opponent anyway, and they are running a team of, what is that? That's a pre-evolution of, it's a poison bug type, I think. Scolopedes pre-evolution? I can't remember the name. Hippowdon, we've got Comfey, Goodra, Medicham, and a lot of Muck, so can expect Trick Room maybe. We've got the Medicham that possibly will be the Mega Evolution on this team. We're going to have the Weather mode there with the Hippowdon. Comfey's going to offer priority healing as well, so that's not ideal. And the Alolan Muck is just going to disrupt my team with knockoffs and things like that. So we are going to need Landorus T here. Yeah, I'm going to lead Landorus, Tapu Fini. I am going to bring Heatran. Heatran's not really offering too much, so I might bring Tapu Koko and Kangaskhan in the back. And hope to do a lot better than that last game. That last game was a train wreck. But if it means you guys don't make that same mistake by watching me do it and make a fool of myself, then I do not mind too much at all. That's the main aim of this. So we're going to see my opponent, and he is going to lead off with the, is it Whirlipede? Is that how you pronounce it? Whirlipede and the Hippowdon. So I've literally no idea what this Whirlipede's going to do. We do have the Tectonic Rage on our Landorus that we could take advantage of here. We're going to see the Sandstream ability activate on the Hippowdon, so we get that Sandstorm on the field. So, we are Specs Tapu Fini though, so I could just lock into... I don't expect any sort of Wide Guard to come out here, so we could just Tectonic Rage into the Hippowdon and actually into the Whirlipede, because we've got to be careful of any poison type attacks coming out. So I'm just going to Tectonic Rage into that slot and Muddy Water as well. Hopefully that'll be enough to get rid of the Whirlipede. So we do get the Tectonic Rage off. We aren't intimidated, so this should be doing decent damage. Going to hit neutral into this Whirlipede. I imagine it is a poison bug type. Probably holding the EV though, so it's probably not going to do. Probably will survive this. It's nice damage. Muddy Water doesn't miss, so hopefully this is enough to take it out. Yeah, and do really good damage to electric powder. And we see a Stealth Rock. Okay. Stealth Rock's one of those moves that's so popular in singles. It's like a standard move in singles, but you very rarely see it in doubles or VGC at all. What it does is once it's set into the field, it takes a percentage of damage anytime a Pokemon is switched in on the field, and depending on the Pokemon's type, if it's weak to rock, then it will take more damage and so on like that. So it's quite good for residual damage, especially if your team is based on ball position. You have to switch around quite a lot. So we see the Medicham come in on the field. What I'm going to do here is switch in my Kangaskhan for my Lander ST, and I'm just going to go for another Muddy Water. We do need to be careful of a fake out from this Medicham coming out. It probably will be onto the Tapu Fini, but what I want to do is get Landorus out so I can bring it back in and get an Intimidate onto this Medicham later in the game. And also with the Kangaskhan, we can take advantage of that fake out this next turn. So you see the Hippowdon switch out, Comfey coming in that place. And we'll see what this Medicham goes for. Maybe Mega Evolving. Here we go. So Medicham evolving into Medicham. A bit tongue twisted there. Is he going to go for no fake out? Just a nice punch straight into that Landorus slot. But switching into Kangaskhan, we are able to take that. We do get the Muddy Water off. Do really nice damage to both Pokemon. Pick up an accuracy drop on that Comfey. And I think what I'm going to do this turn is I could go for the fake out into that Medicham, but I'm not going to. I'm going to fake out into the Comfey because that Comfey, like I said in team preview, does have access to priority healing moves through its ability. So it can just fire maybe something onto that Medicham, heal it back up so it survives the next turn and can just start dishing out loads of damage. So to prevent that, I'm just going to fake out that Comfey and I'm just going to lock into Muddy Water again. Hopefully we do connect on both Pokemon and it does take the balls down and we should be able to close the game up from there. So we see Mega Medicham switch out, Powden come back in. We are going to evolve ourselves with Kangaskhan. I really like the new animation for the Mega Evolutions in this game as well in Sun and Moon. Quite clean. So we get the fake out onto that Comfey. We're going to stop it moving this turn and get that Muddy Water off. Which thankfully does connect. And we're down to just having to deal with that Mega Medicham. So what I'll do here, I'll just switch out the Kangaskhan back into the Landorus, get an Intimidate off onto it and just fire off a Muddy Water and hopefully it hits and that should be game. But by doing that, we're kind of allowing ourselves to take advantage of the fake out later in the game, again with Kangaskhan if we need to. But my opponent seeing not very many ways out from that point there, just forfeiting. So good game to my opponent and a bit of a better result that time round. So we'll have one more game, guys, with the team and hopefully carry on improving because that first game I'm still I'm really disappointed with myself, my play there. You know, it's annoying. You know, sometimes you do forget. You're getting into a new format and things like that. You do forget things. You just take things for granted. Like I really thought there, in that situation against the Manectric, that it would just Mega Evolve, but it was obvious. You know, I had Tapu Koko out on the field. There's a Politoed that was threatened by the electric type attacks. It's not going to Mega Evolve. So it's just being a bit more aware of what's on the field and making better calls in those situations. We did a little bit better in that last game, but we want to just kind of continue that a bit more. Like I say, if it just means that you guys don't make the same mistakes I do, then that's better. But I'm enjoying playing this team at the moment. Tapu Fini feels really good in this format so far. So we'll see if we can feature it again here. We've got our next opponent, and probably our last one of the day, playing Tapu Koko, Milotic, Gigalith, Typhlosion, Snorlax, and let me think, it's the new mushroom in Sun and Moon. It is a fairy and grass type Pokemon. Anyway, what are we going to do? We've got weather there from the Gigalith. It doesn't look like there's any forms of speed control on my opponent's team. The Milotic could have Icy Wind, so we do need to be aware of that. But what are we going to do here? We need to be careful with not bringing Landorus T as well, because we don't want to activate that competitive boost just freely on the Milotic. I think I'm going to lead Kangaskhan. Gives us that fake out. Support. And Tapu Koko. I do want Landorus here because there's a lot on my opponent's team that doesn't like ground type attacks. We could bring... No, I'm just gonna say we could bring Heatran, but I'm gonna round it off with Tapu Fini. So see how we get on in this game. Hopefully better than game 1. And let's not make any silly mistakes. So my opponent leading off with the Milotic. And it's Shinotic. So I don't know too much about Shinotic. Like, I know it gets Spore, but we don't need to worry about that too much because we've got the Electric Trainer. It does get Spotlight, but again, I'm not too worried about that. I think what I'll do is Mega Evolve Kangaskhan. I will go for the fake out into the Milotic. And I'm going to go for a taunt into this Shinotic. That's how you pronounce it. I do need to check that. Because it seems like the type of Pokemon that would just have disruptive moves and things like that. So I'm just going to taunt it, stop it being able to do anything disruptive going into turn 2. Do get the fake out onto the Milotic. The taunt off onto the Shinotic. Yeah, and it goes for that sap strength. So that is the healing move that it heals as much as your opponent's attack stat or the target's attack stat. So here I'm gonna go for a power up punch into the Milotic, and I'm gonna go for a. You've got to imagine that the Milotic will probably switch out here because it is really threatened. So I'm just gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam with Tapu Koko. No switch up from my opponent though. And we do activate a red card though on that Shinotic. Ugh, this is not good. Not good at all. So Tapu Koko gets forced out, bringing in the Landorus T. And not competitive though, nature on the Milotic. So my opponent bluffing that, so we don't activate that, which is good news for us. We do see a Scald come out from the Milotic onto the Kangaskhan. Hopefully no burn here. Yeah, no burn. And Sludge Bomb. So that red card actually doing us a big favour there. Now, what we can do is go for a... We don't want to take any more risks about getting burnt from that Milotic, so I'm just going to double edge into it, and I'm going to go for a U-turn into the Shinotic with the Landorus T, just get it off the field. So you do get the double edge, take down the Milotic. And get a U-turn. So we'll get Landorus T off the field, preserve that. Oh. But it does have Effect Spore as well. And we do get Paralyzed, which you don't see too often on Landorus T, so that's not really too great. We're just going to bring in Tapu Koko again. And we see Sludge Bomb probably into Kangaskhan. Yeah. But we're able to take that quite nicely. And the taunt does wear off. And Typhlosion coming in now. So we may expect could be Scarfed, and it could have Eruption. So I'm going to go for a Sucker Punch into it, and I'm going to go for another Taunt into that Shiinotic. So we do get the Sucker Punch off, we're on +2. Oh, we just missed the KO there. But if it is an Eruption coming out from that Typhlosion, then it's going to be really... Yeah, there's the Eruption. So we do weaken that a lot because it is an attack based off your HP number. I do see a Sludge Bomb come out onto the Tapu Koko. So here what we can do is just go for a double edge. We do know that that isn't Scarfed Typhlosion, so we'll be able to just go for a T-Ball into that slot, double edge into that Shiinotic, and pick up the KO there. And my opponent withdrawing the Typhlosion into the Snorlax. So we should get some good damage onto this now. Thing is, you've got to hope that we don't get activate that effect spore, which we don't, which is nice. And do just pick up the KO there. And Snorlax revealing that it has got the leftovers. The electric terrain does disappear from the field, but we should be able to pick up the KO onto that Snorlax with double edge from Mega Kangaskhan now, and just T-Bolt the Typhlosion that will come in on my opponent's end, and that should be game. The interesting thing with that Sucker Punch onto the Typhlosion from the Mega Kangaskhan is you can really tell the nerf of Parental Bond now. There's the second attack after, so you hit first, Parental Bond activates, and you attack again. And previously, last generation, it was 50% of the original attack, so we would have KO'd the Typhlosion there, but it's been reduced down from the second attack, reduced down from 50% to 25%, so you can definitely tell that it has taken a nerf, and it's probably a good thing as well, so can't complain about it. We do get the T-Ball off onto that Typhlosion, do pick up the KO there, and we'll get this double edge into this big bad Snorlax. Hopefully it is enough, more than enough, to pick up the KO there after that power punch boost that we have taken. Kangaskhan will take recoil though and go down, but that is the game. So good game to my opponent there, and we try and redeem ourselves from that first match. I'm not gonna forget about that in a while. But like I said, things like that are good because it does, when you do lose a game like that, and it's just practice as well. So it's not a major game or anything of any importance really. So it's good to get those mistakes out when you're in practice situations, and because it has such an impact on you and you think, oh my god, I'm so stupid for doing that sort of thing, it does really make more of an impact on you when you're playing. So the next time in that similar situation, you're not going to do the same mistake again. So, you can't beat yourself up too much about it, but it's good to really kind of just remember and make sure. It's better to be really upset with yourself in that situation for making such a simple mistake, because it'll have more impact on you as a player, and remembering not to do something like that, and you'll learn from it going forward. So you build off things like that. But never mind, we'll forget about that because it's all in the past. We've had a few good games today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Enjoy watching a different team. Like I say, we're going to try and set up a best of 3 with Eloy for this coming Thursday. If we can't do it, we can play with this team again. But if you guys want to see some other Mega Pokemon or just other Pokemon from this format in general, let me know in the comment section below, and we will sort that out for Thursday's episode, and we'll get that done. But guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please leave a like on the video. It's massively appreciated. And we will be back on Thursday with another episode of this. We'll be back tomorrow with the School of Hard Knocks and a QR code team videos, so that'll be a lot of fun. Again, get your requests in for that series because we haven't had one of those in a while, so that'll be a lot of fun to do. We'll be back on Thursday with this or that best of 3 with Eloy, and then School of Hard Knocks round things up on Friday, and then we'll have Team Leaky with the NBL Season 2 stuff over the weekend. So guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you as always for tuning in. If you've got any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. But until tomorrow, I'll see you then. Take care of yourselves, guys. And until then, bye-bye.